Remember to engage with us by sharing your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to keep up with our latest events. This evening held the potential for the mundane, or at least as mundane as one could expect from my friend Monica's art show. Autumn in Brooklyn unfolded with a beauty that was simply enchanting. A gentle breeze whispers through the air, leaves dance softly, and streetlights illuminate the pavement with a cozy radiance. As I approached the gallery, I felt a thrill of anticipation for engaging conversations, a glass of wine in hand, and the possibility of encountering a few eccentric personalities. Little did I know that this evening would herald the start of an extraordinary tale. The interior buzzed with a lively energy, wrapped in a warm embrace of comfort. The expansive room, adorned with brick walls, displayed art, while the guests' unconventional attire contributed to the vibrant atmosphere. Amidst the vibrant scene, girls flaunted their neon hair, while guys donned stylish hats, and connoisseurs engaged in fervent discussions about color schemes. I took a glass of white wine and meandered through the gallery, my eyes scanning the artwork until I finally caught sight of him. He sat at the makeshift bar, exuding calm and confidence, as if the surrounding chaos held no sway over him whatsoever. He donned a deep blue shirt, the collar casually unbuttoned, his hair laced with silver strands, and an elegant watch gracing his wrist. Undoubtedly not a hipster, and certainly not an average individual. He stood apart, and naturally, I found myself gazing at him a moment longer than was perhaps appropriate. And naturally, that was the moment my glass of wine slipped from my grasp. Excellent. Initial thoughts, wouldn't you agree? Is everything okay? His voice resonated with a deep, slightly husky timbre. I swiftly leaned in, seized the glass, and flashed a grin, attempting to feign nonchalance. Indeed, it was quite unforeseen, I remarked. As with many delightful experiences, he noted with a relaxed tone, before gesturing for me to take a seat. How could I possibly say no? As our conversation unfolded, I discovered that his name was Gabriel. As a wine merchant, he possessed a treasure trove of amusing anecdotes from New York in the 90s, captivating me completely as I listened, laughter bubbling up effortlessly. His humor danced lightly in the air, and his voice possessed a certain charm that sent a delightful shiver through you whenever he spoke. Upon revealing that my preferred dinner consisted of instant noodles, he chuckled and declared, "All right, we need to remedy that immediately." To be truthful, it didn't bother me at all. The remainder of the evening unfolded in a tapestry of laughter, spirited debates over the nuances of Merlot, and contemplative discussions about paintings, the meanings of which I confessed often eluded my grasp. Then, quite unexpectedly, he remarked, "I know a spot that offers the finest Bordeaux in town, shall we go?" In that moment, my heart performed a delightful somersault, for I believed I had encountered the most intriguing man I had met in quite some time. A smile graced my lips. "What's stopping us?" Gabriel guided me to a quaint French restaurant, nestled away from the city's clamor, concealed within the narrow, winding streets. The streetlights flickered softly beyond the glass, their gentle glow illuminating the expansive windows. The atmosphere was infused with the fragrance of rain, cinnamon, vanilla, and the comforting aroma of autumn leaves. He assisted me from the car, his hand resting gently on my back, a warmth that seemed to surpass the coolness of the evening air. In a single effortless motion, a delicate tremor coursed through my being. Be it anticipation, intrigue, or some other elusive feeling, I found myself uncertain. The ambience within was warm and inviting. Antique chandeliers illuminated the rich hues of dark wooden tables, while candles danced softly, synchronized with the gentle French melodies drifting leisurely from the speakers. Not a solitary stranger could be found in this place. All around, people appeared to immerse themselves in joy, relish the moment, and truly experience life. "They make an incredible duck confit here," Gabriel remarked, his fingers idly tracing the outline of the wine list. A smile crept across my face, anticipation bubbling within me as I wondered what further delights the evening would unveil. Head biting my lip. Are you suggesting that I lack knowledge about H cuisine? He lifted his gaze, a grin spreading across his face. I wish to astonish you. And he indeed astonished the Bordeaux. He ordered a drink so rich and deep that, after the first sip, I shut my ears to savor the lingering aftertaste. As I savored the duck, its soft, crispy texture paired with a rich fish sauce, a wave of pleasure washed over me, urging a moan to escape my lips. I find myself in a moment of introspection, contemplating the course of my existence. I whispered, sliding my plate aside and taking a sip of my wine. Gabriel let out a hearty laugh. Oh, Husky let out a hearty laugh. His laugh resonated with me. It was genuine. The evening's mission was successfully fulfilled. I gazed at him across the glass. The candlelight danced upon his cheekbones, the corners of his lips. Those eyes of his gaze radiated warmth, somewhat lethargic. A man who savors the present, taking his time to fully embrace it. It moves forward. Not at this moment. I placed my glass on the table and leaned in closer. Take your time and share with me. What brought you to that exhibition? He maintained his gaze unwaveringly, suspended in the space between us, delicate as a gossamer strand. I found myself in search of the unfamiliar, or perhaps an individual. My heart skipped a beat. We existed. Both remained quiet, yet that silence resonated with an intensity all its own. In that moment, I understood more than any words could convey. I found myself irresistibly captivated. This man was more than merely an intriguing conversationalist, more than merely a noble figure, more than merely an evening enjoyed. He was stirring something from its slumber. Within me, I found myself uncertain about my readiness to stand against it. Time seemed to vanish as the week passed in a blur, as if drawn from a solitary breath. The following day, Gabriel made a call. His voice, rich and inviting, reminiscent of the wine from that restaurant where we had decided to meet. Once more, I found myself unable to shake the thoughts that lingered in my mind. Who was he? What is it about him? Above all else, what was it that made me feel so anxious in the presence of a man who might be my... Indeed, let's confront the reality. My father on the evening of the meeting. The air was crisp and cool. As I stood in my driveway, wearing the worn jeans, complete with a tear at the knee, that I had always considered charming. Yet at this moment, in an instant it appeared far too ordinary. He cruised in, his retro Corvette gleaming black as if it had just rolled off a classic American car poster. And he himself is my deity. He appeared as though he had just emerged from the pages of a magazine celebrating the triumphs of successful men. A dark blue shirt, impeccably tailored. The scent of luxurious perfume intertwined with the evening breeze. Are you prepared? He inquired. Stepping out of the car, I reached for the door before me and pulled it open. I acquiesced nonetheless. Every element within quivered with anticipation. My inner voice lingered, shouting, Cinderella you have. Surely I've found myself at the wrong ball. His apartment revealed itself to be an even greater surprise. It was more than merely a house. It stood as a testament to history, a museum. Vinyl records stand in perfect alignment along the walls, resembling soldiers poised in formation. A leather couch that likely set one back the equivalent of a year's salary. The compensation at my coffee establishment commanded the heart of the living room. Amidst all this grandeur stood an exercise machine, a relic of my retired companion. He made a jest, drawing my attention. A chuckle escaped my lips. Yet within, I still sensed a lingering feeling of being somewhat out of place. Every object in this space carried a narrative, and I too had my own tale to tell. I was merely a girl clad in jeans, sporting a hole in my knee. Gabriel observed my discomfort and spoke gently. I don't gather items merely for the sake of possessing them. Their memories echo like this vinyl, don't you think? Indeed, indeed. He extracted a vinyl from the collection. This was the inaugural album I acquired upon reaching the age of 16. And which album was that? I inquired, astonished by the ease of it all. He recounted his tales, The Doors, Writer's Son, The Storm. A smile, a perilous decision for a teenager, I suppose. A grin spread across his face. Yet in those days I was a renegade. I am striving to enhance my organization skills. He was an aerial enthusiast. I realized it when he revealed his daily routine at 6 a.m. exercise. Green smoothies facilitate a meditative state of productivity. Jim, as you reach your 50s, it becomes evident that the body is a valuable investment. Should you neglect it at this moment, later it will be too late. And so he began, discussing his dietary choices. Broccoli. Invoke the essence of quinoa and avocado. It resembles a selection from a vibrant, health-conscious advertisement. Interrupted laughter. What do you consume?
Instant noodle.
Pizza. At times, a salad serves as a delightful option. I consider myself fortunate that he shook his head. Yet, a glint of mockery danced in his eyes. It seems I must embark on a journey of re-education with you. And he truly began. The following morning, as I stirred awake on his leather couch, we settled in to watch classic films playing into the depths of the night. He presented me with a glass filled with a vivid green elixir. Celery stalks. Muthai. Partake in the beverage. I lifted the glass to my lips and nearly sputtered in surprise. That is truly remarkable. It enhances one's spirits. He winked. By the end of the evening, I had learned that he frequented the gym 3 times a week, rested upon an orthopedic mattress. Moreover, they employed unique facial masks. This man was without a doubt a deity of health, yet the finest. The moment commenced when he extended an invitation to instruct me in the art of the twist dance. The kitchen enveloped us as we stood there. He set an ancient chubby checker record spinning. In just a matter of minutes, the entire house resonated with our joyous laughter. The neighbors likely believed that someone was mistreating the elderly resident, for the reason that 30 minutes later, a knock echoed through the stillness, reverberating against the door. A voice called out from behind the door, urging, "Police, open up!" We stood still, and then we erupted into even more laughter when the police caught sight of us. They cast a frown before joining us in laughter. "At least there's someone reveling in joy." As they departed, one of them remarked. It was that night when the realization dawned upon me. Gabriel was something beyond measure, more than merely a striking figure adorned with a luxurious timepiece and a classic automobile. He possessed a remarkable ability to discover delight in the simplest of moments. A person capable of transforming a mundane evening into something extraordinary. Yet, the most significant revelation lay in wait for me in the week to come. The following week swept by in a whirlwind of emotions. Our paths crossed nearly every day. At a contemporary art exhibition he caught me off guard with his understanding of abstract painting. It's more than merely a stain. It serves as a symbol for the tumult that envelopes our world. In a quaint French bistro that transformed into our cherished second home. Yet, it was his invitation that captivated my curiosity the most. My retreat lies nestled in the serene expanse of the Hamptons. How about we escape for the weekend? I acquiesced nonetheless. Within me, a quiver of excitement coursed through my veins, blending seamlessly with a sense of eager expectation, a touch of unease. What might lie in wait for me? Their candles flickered, wine flowed. Or perhaps something even deeper lingered in the air. The journey to his residence spanned approximately 2 hours. The Corvette raced along the highway, its engine roaring with unrestrained power, and gazed out the window at the autumn landscape. There's a warmth blossoming in my stomach. Could it be that you're feeling a bit anxious? He inquired, a fleeting glance bestowed upon me. I acknowledge it, so there's no need for concern. I wish to unveil a certain place to you. It truly holds great significance for me when we arrived. It became clear to me why he held this house in such high regard. It was more than merely a country cottage. It was a moment etched in time. A structure with 2 levels. A structure adorned with white shutters, elegantly framed by towering maples. They were already beginning to don their autumn hues in the backyard. A terrace adorned with wicker furniture beckoned invitingly, and a hearth aglow, and beyond that lies the expansive ocean, the melody wafting through the atmosphere. This is truly remarkable. I exhaled, relieved that you appreciate it. With a warm smile, he assisted me in stepping out of the car. The interior of the house exuded a warmth that mirrored the sturdy, wooden-beamed photographs adorning its exterior. Books are scattered throughout the house, adorning the walls. Every detail here appeared to carry a fragment of a soul. We meandered along the coastline, savoring the day's gentle embrace, gathering seashells and engaging in conversation concerning all that exists in the world as dusk descends. He uncorked a bottle of wine, claiming it was older than I. He explained that this is a Bordeaux from 1995, gently cascading the crimson elixir into delicate glasses. A standout vintage bottle among my cherished collection. I lifted the glass to my lips and took a sip. And the universe, the world around me appeared to come to a standstill. It's truly remarkable, I murmured. He smiled broadly. Sometimes embracing a risk can lead to unexpected rewards. Embrace the opportunity to explore uncharted territory. That night transformed all things. As he grasped my hand and guided me up the stairs, I could feel my heart racing with anticipation. His bedroom exuded simplicity, yet refined. A spacious bed adorned with a wooden headboard, accompanied by a window, gazing out at the vast expanse of the ocean. A subtle waft of freshness enveloped him as he removed his shirt. I nearly inhaled sharply. This man certainly defied all expectations associated with age. His physique was tense, resilient as though hewn from stone. And his, shall we say, virtues, let's frame it like this. What I anticipated to be a simple radio turned out to be an entire home theater system. Incredible! I exhaled as he caught sight of my astonishment. He wore a grin. Do you really believe I consume broccoli solely for the sake of health? A chuckle escaped my lips, yet the laughter swiftly gave way to a different emotion. An elusive sensation, difficult to articulate. With the dawn of a new day, the words began to flow. Today, I found myself rising before the sun had fully claimed the sky. Sunlight poured through the curtains, illuminating the scene as Gabriel engaged in his morning exercises on the patio. He glided through the space around him, an elegance that suggested the very fabric of time had come to a standstill. He greeted me with a cheerful good morning upon seeing me. Greetings of the morning. A smile graced my lips, experiencing a slight sense of, it's a bit awkward, but how did you sleep? Was it fine there? There is but a single concern weighing on my mind. What is that? The townsfolk were indeed correct about your neighbors. You truly embody a perilous essence. He let out a hearty laugh. He approached me, wrapping his arm around my waist. Have you ever considered this? I ponder, what if you could also be a threat? Indeed, he was correct. From that instant onward, I came to understand that the relationship had transcended mere romantic notions. It was an essence that ran deeper, a force that felt more potent, nearly instinctual. Yet, the most challenging moment arrived when I chose to present him to my guardians. When I revealed to my parents that I was in a relationship with a man who was their senior, the response was resounding. Mom almost let her iconic apple pie slip from her grasp. And Dad, typically as serene as a still sea, suddenly began to pace around the living room in circles. Do you truly believe that? This is not merely the act of a swindler. Emma adjusted her glasses, concealing her expression, while our religious fanatic father observed closely. He crossed his arms over his chest. With a heavy heart, I let out a sigh. He possesses a unique charm that sets him apart. Upon encountering him, clarity will dawn upon you the following day. Gabriel made his entrance at. He gazed at their house from behind the wheel of his Corvette, flawless light sweater paired with jeans and a sleek leather jacket. As he stepped out of the car, Father stood on the porch, his oil-stained shirt catching the light, an eyebrow arched in curiosity. Could it be the man who will one day be your son-in-law? He whispered softly into my ear. Father, you give your word to conduct oneself? I let out a sharp hiss. Gabriel advanced, extending his hand. Extend your hand, Gabriel. It was a delight for Dad to shake it, yet he found himself unable to resist. So you have decided to take my daughter as your bride. Are you aware? You're just a couple of years shy of my age. Gabriel smiled broadly. Weren't you wed? At her age, time stood still for Dad. Then, without warning, laughter erupted. Very well, I hold a fondness for you. Let us reveal this car of yours. An hour later, they returned with pizza and a bottle of cognac. It became evident that Gabriel had not only informed Dad about the jeans, but had also taken the time to teach him the intricacies of wearing them. To navigate the intricacies of their shared passion, they initiated weekly calls to delve into the world of classic cars. Yet, my mother remained enveloped in disbelief for an extended period. She posed an endless barrage of inquiries. Are there any children in his life? Is he really not married? What if he had been before you? Accomplish. Yet, everything transformed the moment Gabriel presented her with an antique jewelry box for her birthday. A mother with a penchant for gathering magnets from New York City. For the first time in her life, tears streamed down her face at the sight of the gift. Not even your father bestowed upon her anything of that nature. She wept as Gabriel had. She has been his favorite ever since they shared that cooking experience together. He instructed her in the art of crafting a proper dock, and she bestowed upon him delicious borscht recipes to enhance strength. Yet, the experience was far from straightforward when we attended his friends' gatherings. I felt as though I were a granddaughter who had quietly entered a gathering of retirees. His companions engaged in play. Bridge contemplated the nuances of real estate prices, while immersing himself in the soothing melodies of Chopin. I found myself drawn to TikTok and Billie-ish. One day, he endeavored to install TikTok. His phone rested at 58. I am delving into the art of crafting warm and inviting narratives, he remarked, narrowing his eyes at the screen. A chuckle escaped my lips. Clearly, that doesn't align with your usual style. Why didn't he take offense? I have the potential to amass a considerable following. Absolutely. If you could create a video demonstrating the art of savoring duck accompanied by fig sauce, that would be wonderful. He rolled his eyes, yet he gave it a shot. The video garnered 200 views. The initial significant confrontation unfolded when I yearned to attend Coachella. He proposed the opera.